I got absolutely mansplained to in a yarn store, and as much as I hate to admit it, it kind of helped. I went to this yarn store and I'd recently seen one of those videos where someone felts their ends in their project and it makes it so they don't come out as easy. It has to be like a animal fiber, so I was using wool at the time and I had a lot of color ends. So I wanted to buy a felter to see if it would actually work. So I went into the yarn store and I asked if they have a felter, and the guy was like, no, we don't have one. So I was like, okay. And so I just kind of started to explain it to him to see if he had ever heard of felting your ends. He didn't really understand what I was saying. He was like, no, I've never heard of that. And then he just begins to explain to me why we hide our ends in our projects. Yeah, like he was literally explaining to me, yeah, like we want to hide our ends in our projects to make sure they don't like come out. And I was like, if I'm asking about felting ends in, I think I know how to weave ends into a project. He did give a really good analogy that I found helpful. I was still mad, don't get me wrong, but the analogy he used was actually really nice. So I want to share it with you guys. You know that toy we had when we were little where it's like a long cylinder and you put your two fingers in, and if you pull, your fingers get stuck? I can't remember what they're called. So he said to think of yarn ends something like that. So you want to weave in back and forth a lot. So once you stretch, it kind of is like that. It gets stuck. And I found that analogy actually really helpful for thinking about that when I am weaving all my ends. So I didn't really appreciate being mansplained about how to hide yarn ends in, but that analogy actually kind of helped me a little bit. I definitely did still walk out being a little annoyed, so I hope that better explains hiding yarn ends to you, and don't let men mansplain your craft to you. Also, I'm too shy. I can't say anything.